Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Vaal. It's Thursday, and we're at the classic track and talk about the 8-race program that's on offer for you today. A reminder about our social media activity around what you can get on Twitter and on YouTube and on WhatsApp. That information will be on your screen now. There we go. There's the info. Take that, dot that down, and we can engage along the way. Right. Let's get straight into the open at the Vaal Classic, where we've got the source favourite for Roy Magna. We're doing this just, by the way, Wednesday, so that you guys are aware. We're unaware of any scratchings in the first at this point in time. And number 4, Majestic Touch, is the favourite at 7-2. Second choice, number 6, The Front Line, is 4-1. And you've got the source number 9 on the card, who's Canford Rose, at 5-1. And then it's 11-2, bar those three. Go to Darren Burrows. Morning, Darren. Let's talk about Vaal Classic and how many in the first leg of the bipod. You there, Mr. Burrows? Morning to you.
Good morning, Clyde. I thought the horse to beat, definitely Majestic Touch. Now, on debut, they backed this horse from 14-1 to 18-10. He moved up to a point and he just faded out. He's obviously got a big reputation, and I'm hoping that he can put it together. But he's by no means a good thing. You've got a first-timer like Jordan in the race, a Silvano out of a dynasty mare, making his debut over the 1450. Obviously, a horse looking for 2,000 meters in time to come. So 4 and 3 to fight it out. I would include the Front Line and Canford Rose, fair debuts.
Okay. Well, interesting, because Jordan's unraced. Or what do you make of anything? Any comments? Or
I think there is a comment, Clyde. Yeah, I think it's red. Should need.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your first choice, Mr. Berry?
I wonder if Muzi had the choice of rides of here between number 4, Majestic Touch, and number 6, The Front Line. Because he rides for Robbie Sage.
Yes.
Yeah, like Darren touched on, Majestic Touch was backed as if the result was known last time out. Obviously much better than that. On a line through Just Vaal, there shouldn't be much separating himself and number 6, The Front Line. And then you got the filly that comes into the race, Canford Rose. Now that form line's also worked out. So yeah, Juveniles, Clyde, I've gone the safety route. I've gone 4, 6 and 9.
All right. Well, there are a few form lines that come. The Prince of Green form line's very good. White Pearl and Just Vaal have come to win. So that does bring the front line into play. And obviously with the other one in the race over there that we are talking about, that Muzieni Majestic Touch, that form line, what came from there was called Lincoln Navigator, came out of the Zenovian one. So there, both sides, we can argue that, they've got big chances. Let's take a look at bipods then. We worked it out. Daryl's got it for you. 4, 6 and 9 in the first leg by 4, 9 and 11. Then he's going to banker the 12 in his bipod. That's the third leg. The 12 being We Are the Logans by 1, 4, 7 by 3 and 6. And at the back, a whole lot of horses in there. 1, 4, 5, 7, 10 and 11. And that will cost 324. Back with us for the second race now. It's place accumulator time. Let's take a look at the market where number 4, Lady Fallon, is the favourite. 7-2 on the Wednesday. Number 5, Let's Go Now, is another first timer for Sean Terry. Gavin Larena is riding it, trading at 7-2. And then you've got Mike de Cox Woodland Glade, who is number 11 on the card, who's trading at 9-2. Darren Burrows, I'll come to you first. Let's talk about the race and what you like in this.
Clyde, some people carry a black book around, and when a horse catches their eye, they pencil it in. I saw that information in my head, and on debut, Lady Fallon absolutely blew me away. I thought this filly's got a bright future. I said next time out 1450, you can put and collect. I didn't realize the field was going to be so competitive, but then again, you're getting a better price. So I really believe Lady Fallon could have a bright future ahead of her. I really liked what I saw on debut, and I'm hoping that she can put it together for us.
Yeah, well, no filter. No filter came out of there and won impressively, Daryl. So Mr. Burrows has put it in the book. One to follow.
Yeah.
You, in your book?
Yeah, she put up an eye-catching debut, Clyde. Take note, there was a lot of anti-post support for her on that day. So she was expected to run a decent race. Drifted out race time again. touched on that winner from the fawn line, no filter. So yes, she goes around the bend for the first time, and she goes an extra 250 meters. So I'll give her a chance. Shilpa's Moon holds Woodland Glade on their later start. Woodland Glade on that occasion, she had every chance. She was well positioned. But go back to her debut effort. I know that form line hasn't been really working out. That's my baby form line. But she beat Shilpa's Moon on debut. So in my mind, she ran below par in her second start.
Yeah.
And she could bounce back to a better effort. Clyde, juveniles, have a look at number 5. The comment is should need. Let's go now.
Should need, yeah.
Full
All
sister to? A full sister to who?
Bless my who?
Bless My Stars.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Bless my stars, yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely
Let's
horse.
be with Darren. He's bullish.
No, it's in the black book. Let's shout it home, Lady Fallon. What are we doing here? Second race on the card. This is Daryl Marie's going 4, 9, 11. Whilst Darren Burrows is bankering 4, then banker 12, then 1, 4, 7, then 3 and 6, then 10, 11, then 2, 3, and the last leg 3, 8, and 9. That's Mr. Marie's place accumulator for the Vaal meeting. Let's take a look now at our next on the card, the third race. We Are the Logans is dominating here at 15 to 10 for Tony Peter and Dennis Schwarz. Solid form to date and does look like the right horse in the race, Daryl.
I think he's going to take a power beating. Probably one of the better bests on the card, Clyde. Loved his later start. You know, he actually moved in that final 150 as if he was going to challenge to win that event. He just, the other two got the better of him in the dying strides. That was over a mile on the testing Turfentine Standside track. I think this classic track is a bit easier, and I expect him to go very close to winning. Number 10, Pied Kingfisher. Now, he's having his peak run. I won't be surprised to see them go forward on him this time around because he does have racing fitness on his side. Form is moderate to date. Hello Scene, number 9's been gelded, and he could improve. But on a line through Battle of Kursk, he's held by We Are Logans. We Are the Logans. So We Are the Logans to win.
We Are the Logans. Okay, that's Daryl's side. He's been talking about We Are the Logans for a couple of days now. Mr. Burrows, what do you say?
Clyde, I went to safe route numbers 9, 10, and 12. Holocene being gelded, Pied Kingfisher, peak run, and We the Logans, good form to date. I'm not going to split the three of them, but that is the trifecta boxed. I think they'll finish in the first 3.
Okay, so you've worked out a pick 6 for us as well. Or whose pick 6 is it, yours or Daryl's? Let's have a look. Take a look at the pick 6. It's Darren Burrows. He's going 9, 10, 12, whilst Daryl Marie's bankering 12 by 4 and 5, by 1, 3, 6, 8, and 9. And then we're bankering the one later on by 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. And if we're running, nothing to worry about because we'll have the whole field at the back. Vanderbilt is back in action now, race number 4 in the card. Is that the horse to beat or not? We'll talk to our tipsters about it now. And Glamu's the favourite. Market tends to be with the Sean Terry horse, number 5, 4 to 1. Second choice, number 1, Vanderbilt at 9 to 2. And the 4, Duke of Success, 9 to 2. And then, I beg your pardon, Duke of Sussex. And then it's 11 to 2 about Sister Light. After that, must have some sort of claim. 13 to 2, the 7, Diesel and Dust. And then double figures about the others. Mr. Burrows, let's chat about the race. Market's got it wide open. How open is it for you?
Clyde, I like this horse Duke of Sussex quite a lot. You know, I've been for this horse on a number of occasions and he never lets us down. He's an 8-time winner from 21 starts. He's 3 wins from 3 runs over course and distance. He loves the Vaal, the classic and the other track. I just feel this is the right company, even though his rating's gone up in his last couple of starts. I really believe he's the right horse. In Glamu is the danger. He ran in the Greyville 1900 last time out, not disgraced behind, but Pakaya. The drop in trip's going to be ideal. So 4 to beat 5.
Okay. 4 and 5 for Darren. Daryl, your side?
I respect Duke of Sussex, Clyde. He loves it here. Yeah, I actually think Vanderbilt's a runner. Funny enough, I've really never really been a huge fan of his, but he's proved me wrong time and time again. Take note of the form update, Clyde. He ran fifth, uh, beaten 2 3/4 of a length behind Silvana's Dasher. Now, if you watch that race, he was made to work extremely hard by Russian Rock. I mean, they cutthroats for the first 600 meters of that race. So I actually think you, he did extremely well to finish as close as what he did. Um, if he lines up, he's another case of Tizona. Remember, Tizona came back from
Yes,
KZN a few
yes, I
days
do.
later.
And won.
If he's taken that race fit and well, and if he lines up, I think he could be a player of the year. He goes well over the course and distance. The horse I'm leaning towards is number 7, Diesel and Dust. Now, in his last start, I know he got a peach of a ride for La Sunday, Clyde, but he ran well above his current rating. He could only pick up a £6 penalty. He ran above that rating. He's having his peak run from a 1 draw. I think he could potentially just slot in behind Vanderbilt and be his biggest danger. But respect for Duke of Sussex. So for me, I went 1, 4, and 7.
Okay. Interesting. Diesel and Dust in the race with a serious claim, as you heard. Couldn't get the maximum penalty, so does come into the race with a serious chance in this handicap, now that you know. And I wonder what's going on with Argo Alley. I mean, that's one of our horses, isn't it? I mean, what's going on over there?
Yeah, I think
I mean,
last
is
time
this-
out he went to the start over racing. But he's just
This
not...
horse has got equal ability. He can trounce this field if he puts it together. You give him a hiding, this horse. If he focuses and he gets it right, well, just think about it. Think about it. Think about it.
It's hard to fancy him on his current form.
Very hard. That's why I'm asking what's going on. But it's a decent horse. All right, well, let's take a look. What's the plan here now? Jackpots 4 and 5 from Darren in Duke of Sussex and in Glamour. And 1, 3, 6, 8 and 9 in the second leg is bankering the one later on in his jackpot. And then he's going to go 2, 3, 4, 5 and 7. That's Darren Burrows' first jackpot of the day. Don't forget our social media options, race number, as we go into race number 5. Just a reminder about our Twitter account, @Waited2Win is the Twitter handle. With that, I see the following growing quite a lot now, which is great. And YouTube, also for Racing TV. And we've got a WhatsApp group as well. Groups, I should say. Broadcast groups. Okay. You can watch it at any time. We can send it to you at your convenience. All right, guys, let's have a look at the market. Darren, I'm coming to you. Tizona 4-1, number 1 on the card. 6 Turpin, second choice at 9-2. And those two, Paul Matchett, I see, got Lord Varus in yet 11-2 and 7-1 and better about the others. So let's talk about what you like.
Well, Clyde, I can tell you that Turpits will shorten in the betting. There's no doubt about it. That good last win over 1,600 meters by 3.5 lengths, beating Captain Rocket, who came out to win his next start. He's got to be competitive, but I have played the safe route. I included Spin Doctor. He was in need of that last run. He almost pulled it off. You got Lord Varus, blinkers on last time out, won a cracker. Tamarisk Trees not out of it, and Tizona. So all of 1, 3, 6, 8, and 9. But I do believe Turpits will shorten a lot in the betting.
So Turpit's your first choice, but not necessarily overs. There are a few in there that you heard. Daryl, from your perspective?
Yeah, Clyde, he was very impressive last time out. They took a while for them to try him over a mile again. And being a son of Silvana, I think he was looking for this distance and very, very impressive. The handicapper took note of that victory and gave him the maximum 4-kilogram penalty. So he'll need to step up to the plate once again, but he is capable of that. And, the stable are absolutely firing now. So you can expect him to go very close to following up on that victory. I've also got respect for number 3, Spin Doctor. I thought that was a very encouraging return last time out. It was over distance short of his best. He was in need of that. And one thing's for certain, Caden Brewer will be really keen to boot up a winner for Lucky after his ride in the last race on Tuesday, being caught wide. So for me, I narrowed it down to 3 and 6.
Okay. 3 and 6 from Daryl's perspective, Spin Doctor or Turpitz, one of those two. From a betting perspective, what do we intend on doing? Let's have a look at it. Show you our play where Daryl's going 3 and 6 by 1, 4, 5, 7, 10, 11, by 2 and 3, and the last leg 3, 4, 5, 8, and 9. That's 120 Rand. So to handicap we go, we're at the 88 level now, and let's just quickly have a look at the market. I'll put it up for you, where in this race, having a look at the latest betting, number 1, Captain Dizzy, is 33 to 10 favourite. And I think Darren's banked this in his play. You?
I believe so. I might just be shouting it for it myself, Clyde.
You like it?
Yeah. I've actually played against him, to be quite honest. But you know, hard to fault a horse that's had 3 starts for his new yard and he's unbeaten.
Yes.
He did pick up a 3.5 kilogram penalty for his latest victory. But what's more important is this horse was off for a long time with his issues. He's now having 3 runs close together, which shows that he may be over those issues. So I've got respect for him. It's just not going to be an easy task because he has gone up in the ratings. Number 11, Covert. What's it? How do you pronounce it?
Which one?
Covert
operator.
Covert.
No, you can call it covert. I call it covert.
Okay.
But yeah.
I don't know if you recall, prior to his last start, I think Craig Zaki had a winner early on in the day, and he said they're going to try something different. He didn't allude to what it was, but it made a difference. He was never in doubt in that victory, and I thought he won with a lot in hand. So Gavin's won on him up the straight before. I think he's a player. Axel Collins at the weights, he's a player. So, unlike Darren, I thought this was competitive.
Okay. Competitive from Daryl's side. Mr. Burrows, you're obviously still into the one you fancy the most, yeah?
Definitely, Clyde. I think it's just about a one-horse race. Captain Dizzy. You've got to be impressed with his last victory over 1,200 meters where he ran them into the ground and he pretty much had the race won at the 300-meter mark already. I think the drop in trip's actually ideal. And even though he went up 7 points, he gets the apprentice taking off 2.5 kilos, which accounts for 5 points. So I think he's still racing off a winning mark. And I'll be disappointed if he doesn't win. I was quite surprised to see his price at 33 to 10.
So you're big on that. That's the one from Darren's side. Sianda Sasibo's now got the ride on Captain Dizzy. Let's have a look at what the selections are. We've got Darren Burrows going that he'd like to take some of that 33 to 10 that's currently on offer. There's a handicap fillies and mares. It's over 1450 metres. On the Wednesday morning when we did the Thursday show, favourite here, well, they bet 5 to 2 the field, but the favourite is What You're Waiting For. Number 2 on the card at 5 to 2. Joint with number 5, Fur Baby at 5 to 2. So Sean Terry takes on Tony Peter. Tony Peter takes on Sean Terry because at the moment the market's got them as joint favourites. Darren, your first choice?
My first choice has got to be She's a Rainbow. Currently 8 or 10 to 1 in the betting. She's run just off in grade 1 company as a 3-year-old in the Fillies Guineas. Her rating is absolutely tumbled. Have a look 4 runs back, a 90, down to a 74. If she wasn't drawn out deep at 12, I would say she's worth a small bet. I am concerned about the draw. You know, in the past, she's raced from the front, she's come from the back. I thought she raced her best races from handy positions. So if they do push forward on her, she could be hard to beat. But by no means a good thing. You've got What You're Waiting For. Very disappointing form. Up in trip. Fur Baby. I labelled her last time out. She ran no kind of a run. She faded out of contention late. And there's not much depth in this field. So for that reason, I like She's a Rainbow.
Maybe onto something over there. We need to just confirm what the form lines look like. It's I'm not exactly certain, to be honest, and it looks quite tough. How?
Yeah.
For you?
Yeah, Clyde. You know this filly, What You're Waiting For. Myself and her are coupled on the tote. Respiratory noises. Interesting that they try and further with her having her breathing issues. Go. What's it? 4 runs back on this track. I thought that was one of her better efforts to date. It was against the boys. She was doing her best work late of the 1200. She now goes the 1450. Whether she's going to see it out with her issues remains to be seen, but she must be a player. I mean, she's got Keegan DeMiller from a great draw. Just not one you can rely on.
Yeah.
I thought number 3, Alabama Anna, has to show marked improvement. Last time out, she was returning from a rest. It was in open company. Probably in need of that start. She now gets Craig Zaki from a 1 draw, and she's dropped further in the ratings. I mean, she was as high as a 91 a few runs back. She's now off a 75. Stripping fitter from a great draw. I think she's got each-way claims.
All right, open race, not easy. I see Roy Magnus got Dancing Arabian here, might have a bit of a chance. Jared Penny's taken that ride. I think we saw a winner from that form line. It was Silver Clock that came out of there. We were also hoping that Queen Bomey would win, but ran second. Here's a look at what the boys want to do. She's a Rainbow. Darren Burrow says that's his play. He recommends that at the current wealth, it's 17-2 on the Wednesday. That's the price we got about Brett Crawford's She's a Rainbow here in the 7th. Final leg of the first pot. Okay, it's our last year at the Vaal for this Vaal Classic meet, the 8th race on the card, and we've got 7-2 the field, where number 3, Bomb, tops the boards at 7-2 for the Candace Dawson stable. Second choice is number 8, Mabaneng, who's currently trading at 4-1. Then I can tell you that 4, Call the Wind, is 11-2, and number 1, Gimme the Flame, is at 7-1. Another at 7s is this horse Speechmaker, number 7, also 7-1. Then you can get 14s and better the other. So Quartet last race, opportunity to maybe have a bit of a dip somewhere, a couple of outsiders that you might fancy, or what's the plan?
Outsider could be number 9, Gregor McGregor. What price is he, Clark?
Gregor McGregor's now 8-1.
You know, he beat Maboneng in his last start. He's a kilogram worse off, but he's trying the blinkers this time. Could get him into the action a bit closer earlier on in the race. Yeah, he must have a chance. I think there's no doubt that the best horse in the race is Bomb Cloud, the 2-year-old. The others are all in their place. They're not going to Hollywood, whereas he's very lightly raced and unexposed. But his inexperience could count against him, and he's coming back from a slight rest. The stable are starting to have their winners over here, but he does have a lot more to offer. The form lines haven't been that great. Mabaneng, you know, she's got a 1 draw with Keegan DeMello in the irons. Lots in her favour. She's going to run another honest race. The disappointing Call the Wind is coming back in trip, and they're putting blinkers on this time. We could see improvement from her, Clyde.
Moosey's staying with it, eh?
Yeah.
Staying with the ride, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Hard race to end off proceedings.
Yeah, tough, because just having a look at everything in there, what do you go for here? What is the shrewdy, so to speak? Is it Gregor McGregor or not, Mr. Burrows?
Clyde, I liked Gregor McGregor last time out, and he was over racing behind runners, and then he did quicken up smartly late. The drop in trip could be ideal because he did over race slightly. Mabaneng's in form. She's got a 1 draw, everything in her favour. Bomb. Now, we labelled her last time out. It was a workmanlike victory, very green still. And I'm just, I think this colt might need more time. So in open company for the first time, not going to be easy. I'm played the field in the pick 6, so I'm going to be shouting the biggest outsider home.
Yeah, I can't blame you. It is one of those races. It does appear to be the case. Well, let's have a look. What does it mean from Daryl Marie's perspective? He says, let's try this trifecta or quartet, whatever you want to do. But he says, let's box 3, 4, 5, 8, and 9 in the last race. And that's it in as far as what today is about. Thank you, everybody. Cameron Leach has been in the RT today. He's back from Dubai. How wonderful is that? To guide this plane and keep it flying. Thank you. And of course, Dylan, Raj, Daryl, Darren, thank you, everybody. We'll be with you again. Look forward to the weekend. There's some superb racing come Saturday, Sunday.